So, hello everyone. I'm glad to see so few people asleep or staring at screens. It's nice that, everyone's paying attention and stuff. I was expecting, I'm realizing we're late, maybe half the people have gone asleep. And just as before we start anything, it's been really inspirational, especially for all of us, seeing some of the older people in universities and stuff doing really okay, so we got here, we had a few sort of ideas of what to do, and we were kind of like, okay, there's lots of cool gadgets, and so went over to Pete and said, okay, let's get some cool gadgets, and he was like, there's this cool thing for your eyes, and there's this cool thing for your hands, so we thought, yeah, sounds good. And we wanted to do something that was new. We didn't want to do like another, game which requires you to use your hands to paint a picture or something arbitrary and boring. We want to do something new. We want to do something ambitious. So we had a look at some of the implementations of Leap Motion and some of the implementations of Toby. And what we found, especially with Leap Motion, is that the use of your hands is always as your hands, essentially. So you're always trying to draw something or pick something up or perhaps throw something, I guess. And it's kind of like not very inventive. It's like, well, you have your hands, so let's just put your hands in the computer. So we thought, why don't we make your hands your feet? And why don't we make looking around using your eyes? Because why not? Let's do something new. And what we have is essentially a new idea of exploring 3D space. You want to maybe now we have Google Earth, and you don't want to use your WASD or mouse pad. You just want to kind of you have your gran and doesn't know how to use the computer or something. A new way of exploring 3D space. So what we wanted to do was something new. So not gesture based. We wanted to try and see if we could do actual foot tracking with your hands. So you put your hand down and you move forward. Yeah, that was a very ambitious goal of us, and we wanted to move the camera using your eyes. So you look to the corner of the screen, it moves, and we think we've got somewhere there essentially. Currently, the Leap Motion is being a bit sort of annoying, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So Madalena will hopefully give us a demo. So here's a landscape we have, and you see her hands. She's currently moving it forwards using her hands. And are you able to look around?
Wait.
Oh.
Wait.
Go on.
Come on, track my eyes.
Oh.
Wait.
Oh.
Go.
What we found
and wait for it, because we are Jedis for a reason.
Oh yeah, the reason why we're Legless Jedis is because we walk around with our hands, and when we look at things,
come here with the force. I got it.
And so as soon as we got an implementation working, we kind of stopped there at the base level, which is why if we really wanted to, we could do lots of cool things by looking at them, making them move. But we're like, well, we've already got that sorted. We got our movement using our eyes very quickly. So like, okay, so now we've got to worry about moving with the Leap Motion, and that was basically the whole of our time was getting the Leap Motion working with our hands. And really useful APIs, like good learning experience, and I guess that's essentially us. That's what we've done. Yeah. Oh, I have one other thing to add, if I may. Which is, if you look at the bigger picture, you look at Toby, if you actually handle one, they're not meant to be a USB extension for your computer. They look like they're meant to be embedded in a device. And something tells me that big screens are going to have them soon. You can imagine standing in front of your plasma TV, trying to use it by looking at stuff, because Toby's really good. It's really good eye placement. And imagine you've got a Kinect sort of thing, you've got an eye tracking. You can essentially have a very, very easy to use 3D space which you can walk around, you can use your hands very well, whatever, it's like an idea to think about, I guess, yeah.
Cool, thanks guys. Cool. So you guys do questions. Also, random string if you want to move down while these guys have
Guys, ready for questions? Go ahead, please.
I was just curious if you thought about the commercialization aspects. I mean, I can see that architects probably could use it to navigate through 3D models.
Sure.
They could also be a gaming,
Yeah.
So I was just curious if you thought about that and we talked about that.
So the question, we talked through a few questions, is implementation of what we're going to do. Have we thought about using it for architects trying to see how it's like to walk around a building or video games or something? And I think the answer to that is we didn't really think about it. We didn't really want to call it a game because as soon as I think labeling something as a game, you then you lose the idea of architecture and stuff like that, which is a great idea. And I think what we were trying to do, we are just computing students in first year. We just wanted to try and implement something cool, and whatever sprouts, that is, yeah.
Fair enough.
Anything else?
Do you have an idea for gesture control of zooming in and out?
Currently, we don't. The leap motion, basically, the more different gestures you have on the leap motion, sort of the complexity of writing stuff goes up exponentially. It's a very sort of tricky device to do with.
Actually, what we did is more
rotation.
difficult than using gestures.
Yeah.
Because we actually mapped up the leap motion in order to move the hands. And we can use gestures as well for different commands. For example, you can point to close the app, or you can swipe to turn, or you can do this to zoom.
I guess I was thinking of gestures in a more general sense, like
Yeah.
your eye motion, if you stare at something, maybe that
Yeah, well,
could be a
staring
command
is
to
like collecting of the
zoom
object.
in, right?
We stared at the cube, and then the cube came back to us.
And one of the things which is great about the API for leap motion is that they have these really easy pre-built gestures, which we didn't really want to use because they're basically already done. There's really good pointing stuff and circling stuff, and so you can implement that very easily. But I mean, we want to do something new, so it's just okay. Thank you.